they do. They smile in your face all the time. They wanna take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers.
Witness. Somebody close to both Vaughn and Dirk, who might have been feeding info to the feds for years. So buckle up, because what we 'bout to break down, it's deeper than rap. This ain't just another rumor. This could change everything. So boom, here's how it all allegedly went down. A confidential leak someone deep inside law enforcement, possibly tied to the ongoing federal investigation.
And I would like, this video is a reaction video from the FBI files, allegedly reveals shocking twist in the Little Dirk and Vaughn case by Rap Strike. Shouts out to Rap Strike. So y'all go over there and check out the full video, because I'm not going to play the whole video. But I'm telling you, the name of the video is FBI Files Allegedly Reveal Shocking Twist in the Little Dirk and King Vaughn Case. So I got my glasses on. I can read like a motherfucker. I got them glasses on, but don't play with me. But anyway, go over there and check out the video. It's called Rap, R-A-P, Strike. Go over there and check them out. I'm just doing a reaction off the video. But listen and pay attention to what they're saying about the FBI shit. And I'm going to show you who we could suspect the person is. Like, no bullshit.
Into organized street activities, claims that new files tied to Lil Durk and the late King Vaughn just surfaced. Now, at first glance, it looked like just another update in a long dormant case. But what's inside them pages? It's way messier than anyone imagined back in 2019. Before King Vaughn truly blew up, he and Lil Durk were arrested in Atlanta for a shooting outside a Varsity restaurant.
And I remind you, the person who I suspect, he was there too. He ain't go to jail, not for what I saw. We done talked about this 1,000 times. So y'all know exactly who I'm talking about.
Both rappers were accused of attempted murder, and for years, fans saw it as just another targeted attack on young, successful black men.
And guess what I heard through the grapevine, y'all? The Varsity shooting, that was Bezu running chasing the nigga shooting, not King Vaughn. That's why King Vaughn was like, they said I was doing shootings, I wasn't even there. He was talking about the Varsity. Y'all go back and listen to the song when he said that. He was talking about the Varsity. I heard that was Bezu out there shooting dice. And he won the nigga Trackhawk, I think it was. He won a Trackhawk in a dice game. And the nigga refused to get his shit up. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't giving you my Trackhawk. I'll give you some money. I got bread in my car. And when he tried to go to the car, that's when the shootout occurred. This is what I'm hearing through the grapevine from somebody who was down in Georgia. They was right there at the motherfucking the Varsity when this was all going down. Guess what? They was at the dice game too. But shh. Why this person ain't get charged with the crime? Dirk did. Vaughn did. And know what they said? This person had a beef with Dirk and Vaughn. Remember, Vaughn propped up Melly for killing Bezu's son. Lil Durk never put him on. He was always a dirty, busted ass nigga, claiming OTF, but he ain't never had no hit records. He ain't never do shit. He had records out, but not no hit records. Ain't nobody really pushed behind him. Ain't gonna get into it, man. And remember this shit with him and Lil Durk, right? Remember when he was at Lil Durk house hiding out, and the motherfucking police showed up out of nowhere and locked him up, and Durk was like, oh, Lil so-and-so made me say, I'm trying to rob me for my money or some shit. I'll go back and play the video if y'all want to see it later on. Bezu always had a bad taste in his mouth for Lil Durk. Believe that shit. Believe it or not.
But
King
allegedly,
Von.
these new files suggest that someone inside OTF may have cooperated to lighten their own sentence. And that someone might have known about the shooting before it even happened. The streets are whispering that the feds had been watching Ativ long before Vaughn even got locked up.
Yep.
They weren't just
OTF.
watching, nah, they were listening. Wiretaps, burner phones tracked, conversations recorded. And in one of the transcripts, an unnamed voice allegedly says, "We gon' make a move tonight, and I need folks to play it smart." That voice, insiders claim, might belong to DURK. Now look.
Now, won't that clearly explains why Bezu lied about being at the party that night when he had on the all white? Won't that make great sense why Bezu lied about he wasn't the person out there trying to pick Vaughn up and drop him on the ground? Won't it make sense that Bezu denied that he was ever around because he knew the play? And then when they asked Bezu, where were you at? He fucking successfully said this shit on 3-4 interviews. Oh yeah, me and the guys was down at the Waffle House. I stepped out to smoke a cigarette and I heard mad gunfire up the street. I'm like, damn, I hope that ain't the guys. Ain't that's what you said, Bezu? But in reality, you was there. In reality, you knew that this was going to go down. In reality, you know that they wanted King Von dead because you didn't like him anyway. Not after he propped the nigga who killed your stepson. You didn't like him. But, hey, let me mind my business. Watch.
This could just be speculation, right? But here's where it gets wild. In one of the files, there's mention of a witness C, someone the feds describe as being close to both Dirk and Vaughn. Someone who was at multiple video shoots, backstage at shows, and even in the studio while tracks like Crazy Story and Backdoor were being made. Fans are already pointing fingers at multiple former ATA affiliates who mysteriously fell back right after Vaughn's passing. But it don't stop there.
Nope, it don't stop there. Let me show you why it don't stop there. Now, I ain't even gonna be funny and tell you about this federal case right here where Bezu was riding in a car that had 3 guns. One had a switch on him.
I got this one over.
One of the guns had a motherfucking switch on him. Bezu told on the girl.
In the car.
Look.
We could have just talked.
Bro, I got a GPS on my leg, nigga. I ain't
What
the fuck.
I'm good at ready to crash. You hopped in and hit in the car. Why you hiding in the car? We could have just talked.
Bro, I got a GPS on my leg, nigga. I ain't the fuck, man. What's up? Hold up, I mean, I saw the shooter. Which one y'all pulled up on me, man? When I was right here at the top.
This nigga said he have a GPS on his leg. The cop said, you just should have talked. We're talking about that gun case, right? That's just one. And that gun had a switch on it, which means the feds got involved. What did Bezu do? Nothing. What happened to the case? Nothing. Did Bezu go to jail? No. Do Bezu ever go to jail? No. I told y'all back 4 or 5 years ago. Bezu is a fucking police officer. That nigga looks, man, listen here. It's ironic that he would look identical like the cop who beat me up before and when I was little in Newark and shit. Now you look just like that nigga. I think that's your ass, boy. You done just went out there to Chicago on some undercover shit. I don't know. But ever since I seen this nigga, I had a bad taste in my mouth for him. Like, Now, we'll go back 3 years, right? when Beizou problems first started with the feds. Watch this here. Shouts out to Street Certified News. Much love to you. This is a commentary video from Street Certified News. Check out the video.
Beizou government name, Devonshea Collier, is a rapper from the THF 46 set in Chicago, Illinois. He's known to be a prominent figure of the record label OTF Records, and he had especially close ties with Lil Durk and the late King Von. In 2014, THF Beizou was arrested at Lil Durk's residence for a 2009 homicide of Dominic Barnes, a charge he was later cleared of. And then in 2022, there were rumors of him and another OTF associate robbing and taking the OTF chain from fellow OTF rapper Memo 600, symbolically firing him from the label. Just this week, there were reports that the rapper Beizou was arrested in Chicago with multiple machine guns in his possession. Though reports remain sketchy, and there have been no reports from the state of Illinois or the federal prosecutor's office, most believe that he was arrested and that he had, guns in his possession. In an ironic twist, however, there have also been reports, and there was an Instagram story video that seemed to verify the fact that feds did a late night raid on O Block, seemingly hours after THF Beizou's arrest. We're not sure if that raid had anything to do with the arrest of the rapper, but him being arrested and then hours later a raid on O Block, the timing is very close. So with all the recent RICO arrests going on, there have been people that questioned what rapper could be next. If you watch the previous story that we reported on, where we spoke on the RICO charges facing Young Thug and Gunna, there were images that surfaced right after we reported that story that seemed to show that Georgia officials are also targeting Lil Baby's 4PF. And also with, the recent arrest of the O Block 5 and all of that stuff that was going on with King Von, FBG Duck, the arrest now of THF Beizou, multiple machine guns, and now you have a late night raid of O Block.
I would say, ain't that's a lot going on for little old Beizou, and he still never went to jail, and he always get right back out. They say whoever this person is getting their sentence lessened, and they keep getting out. He the only person I see who keep bouncing in and out of jail. Now, do you think all these is mishaps? He got out of jail, released from jail, after he got caught with a switch. Beizou arrested in multiple guns charges by feds. All this is 3 years ago. What happened to these federal cases? The feds just dropped his case. He was the exempt, so the feds just dropped his case. Then he got caught right here. He caught with a switch, another federal case that has nothing to do with this federal case. Ain't that a bitch? Keep on looking. Beizou never go to jail. Even when he got caught with King Von them, Beizou came home. Look, Beizou beats his gun case will be released very soon. 2 years ago. Sure he did. Beizou caught with 3 machine guns. Now let me tell y'all about the machine guns. The machine guns was Durk guns. And y'all wonder why Durk ass got, okay. And y'all wonder, right? Oh, why, wonder. Don't wonder. Don't wonder. This is all, this nigga got a rabbit foot in his pocket. Or he the luckiest man I know. Look, Beizou arrested by feds after police found 3 machine guns. So what happened to these cases? Look, hold up. Right there. What happened to these cases? And he lied. He told them right who machine guns they was. He got locked up on a machine gun charge, came right back home. Next thing you know, everybody started going to jail. The nigga, as soon as he went to jail, 3 hours later, O Block got raided. And y'all still trying to figure out who the secret witness is. Why did they charge Bezu with nothing? They ain't charged him with nothing. He been running with King. He been running with Lil Durk and them the whole time. Trying to beat the body and all this shit. Look at this nigga. Came home from a machine gun charge. Check this nigga out, y'all. Hold up one second. Check this nigga out. Now, Bezu done got caught with 3 machine guns. 3 machine guns. You think they was able to keep him in jail? Nope.
I don't see no purpose in the county. Even sound like this. Wow.
I'm gonna tell you again. They couldn't keep Bezu in jail if his name was Keep Me in Jail. He always beat all the cases. Only Bezu though. Only Bezu.
Burner phones tracked, conversations recorded. And in one of the transcripts, an unnamed voice allegedly says, "We gon' make a move tonight, and I need folks to play it smart." That voice, insiders claim, might belong to DURK. Now look, this could just be speculation, right? But here's where it gets wild. In one of the files, there's mention of a witness C, someone the feds describe as being close to both Dirk and Vaughn. Someone who was at multiple video shoots, backstage at shows, and even in the studio while tracks like Crazy Story and Backdoor were being made.
I wonder who could they be talking about? That's wild, right? Like not being funny. I think we know who they talking about now. Backstabber. Smiled in his face all the time you wanted to take his place.
Fans are already pointing fingers at multiple former ATA affiliates who mysteriously fell back right after Vaughn's passing. But it don't stop there. The files go on to suggest that right after Vaughn was released on bail, there was tension inside the crew. Not just regular rapper ego tension, nah. We talking distrust. Sources close to the situation say Vaughn allegedly confronted Dirk about the direction OTF was heading. There were heated arguments. Vaughn wanted more independence, more control over his music and money. He was tired of being painted as the muscle, while Dirk reaped the commercial success. One studio engineer even said he heard Vaughn yell, "You using me as a crash dummy, bro?" And that's when things allegedly started getting darker. Some say Vaughn began pulling a waist, starting to spend more time with his day ones from O-Block instead of industry folks. Others claim he was planning to start his own label, separate from OTF. According to these documents, the feds believe that someone inside Dirk's inner circle saw that as a threat. And if these files are even halfway true, someone made a call to stop it before it went too far. Now remember that infamous night in November 2020, when King Von was shot outside Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. Everyone pointed at Quando Rondo's crew. Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tum, took the blame, but these files suggest something deeper. The feds allegedly have surveillance footage from earlier that evening showing Vaughn being followed, not by Quando.
And remember, Bezu was there. He lied and said he wasn't. And then came back and said, oh yeah, we ain't supposed to have been around each other. That's why I said that. I don't know what the reason was. I'm listening to what their reason is.
But by someone else. Someone who is wearing Ott's gear, but who hasn't been seen in public since that night. And here's where things get even colder. A private investigator hired by Vaughn's family allegedly turned over footage of a black SUV that trailed Vaughn's vehicle hours before the shooting. The license plate tied to a rental under a fake name, but the credit card used reportedly traced back to a known Ott affiliate. Fans started pulling receipts, comparing tour dates, merch drops, and locations. One TikTok went viral, breaking down the timeline minute by minute, and if that fan theory is even halfway accurate. It paints a picture of betrayal so deep, it makes you question everything. Vaughn's sister, Kayla B., has been unusually quiet since all this started leaking. Usually, she's quick to defend her brother's name, but insiders say she's been in contact with investigators and has gone private on social media multiple times over the past few months. Some claim she found out about the files before they went public, and that what she learned broke her. And then there's the moment that really got fans losing sleep. In one part of the leaked documents, there's mention of a recorded call. Just days after Vaughn's death, in it, a voice said to belong to Dirk allegedly tells someone it had to happen. He was getting out of pocket. The context? Unclear. But the phrase has become a viral hashtag. People are reposting old interviews, live streams, and Instagram stories, trying to match Dirk's voice to the leaked audio. Fans are arguing online, some saying it's all fake, others convinced it's proof of betrayal. And if all this wasn't enough, get this, rumors say Dirk allegedly tried to get ahead of the leak. Insiders claim he made a series of quiet donations to community organizations in Atlanta and Chicago earlier this year, possibly to soften the blow or clean up his image before the truth came out. But critics ain't buying it. They say the timing is just too convenient. Even the music's being dissected now. Fans are going back through Dirk's lyrics from the last few years, pointing out bars that sound like confessions. Lines like I miss bro, but I ain't trusting none of these N********, assin', he said he gang. But moved funny, now he history. People saying Dirk was dropping clues the whole time and that maybe he knew Vaughn wouldn't be around forever, of course. Dirk's camp hasn't responded publicly. No statements, no tweets. Just silence. Some say he's laying low on advice from legal counsel, others say he's shook because he knows what's coming next. Either way, the streets are buzzing, fans are divided, and trust is eroding fast. You can feel the tension online. One wrong post, and it's smoke in the comments.
Long story short, goddammit.
And what this person allegedly told the feds, it might just blow the lid off everything. So boom, just when everybody thought the leaked files had dropped the biggest bomb. Another name shows up in the documents, quiet, unassuming, and completely off everyone's radar. Her name, Tasha. But to those who knew her behind the scenes, she was known as Queen T. She wasn't a rapper, not a public figure, didn't chase clout. But what she was, allegedly, was King Von's longtime secret confidant. Someone who moved silently, but was always close. According to the files, Tasha had known Von since his early Oblak days. They were never public, but sources say their relationship was deep, maybe even romantic. She wasn't just in the background. She was in the loop, and according to the FBI, she might have been the one who broke the case wide open. The files label her as Informant B and claim she turned over text messages, voice notes, and even private DMs that linked several OTA's members to premeditated moves weeks before Von's murder. It gets darker. The files say she met with federal agents just 3 days after Von was killed. Allegedly, she told them, "This ain't what it looks like. Y'all think it's beef with Kwandu, but the real issue's internal." Boom. Right there. That statement alone flipped the investigation on its head. Investigators allegedly reshifted focus from Quando Rando's camp to Von's own inner circle. Now, let's pause. Fans hearing this are shook. 1 minute Tasha's just a name. The next, she's being accused of playing double agent. But it don't end there. One of the most chilling moments in the leaked documents, a transcript of a conversation between Tasha and an OTF member just hours after Von's passing. The OTF member allegedly says, "Bro knew too much. He moved like a boss, but forgot what crew he was in." And Tasha's reply, "I told him to watch his back." Emotions ran high when this part leaked. Fans were torn, some calling Tasha a snake, others saying she did what she had to do. Either way, the betrayal felt real. A woman in the shadows. Possibly the only person Von fully trusted. Now being painted as the one who handed over the blueprint to his enemies. But see, Tasha wasn't the only one talking. The files also mention a second informant, codenamed Witness D, who allegedly had deep ties to both the music and street sides of OTF. Speculation is swirling about who this could be. Fans think it might be a former OTF producer who stopped working with Dirk right after Von died. Others point to a former childhood friend who was once on tour with them, but went ghost in early 2021. In one shocking excerpt, Witness D allegedly tells investigators that OTF had grown into more than just a label. It had become a tightly run organization, complete with rules, ranks, and punishments.
Now I wonder who could have said all of that. I let it ride for a minute, right? I wonder who could have said all that. We know who. Right, Zoo?
They claim Von had started breaking those rules, making solo business deals, not checking in, starting to question the leadership. According to them, that's when the calls started being made. Remember that black SUV mentioned in part 1? Well, this informant allegedly ID'd the driver, someone only known by a street name, Blizz. Now here's the kicker. Fans digging through old social media posts, found a now deleted live where Vaughn mentions someone named Blizz, saying, "You ever feel like one of your own plotting on you?" That same week, Vaughn posted a cryptic tweet, "Loyalty don't come with a face." That tweet's now been turned into a mural by fans. But the meaning hits different now. The betrayal ain't just breaking fans, is tearing apart Vaughn's own circle. His cousin, known as Boss Mo, allegedly confronted one of Dirk's longtime homies at a private event in Atlanta. Witnesses say words were exchanged, drinks were thrown, and it almost got violent. One source claims Boss Mo yelled, "He ain't die off no ops. He died 'cause y'all let him walk into that trap." Security broke it up, but the damage was done. Online, it's getting even nastier. Odd F pages and fan accounts are deleting old posts with Vaughn. Some Dirk supporters are being accused of rewriting history, acting like Vaughn was just another artist instead of a brother. Meanwhile, Vaughn's old camp is reposting tributes, exposing old DMs, and speaking out in interviews.
Right.
One of Vaughn's childhood friends said in a podcast, "It was always love from Vaughn, but not everybody around him had the same love back." And then,
What if it's J Hood? He disappeared too, but he ain't catch no fair charge. Only Bezu ass and little Zay Osama. Nigga, your ass was sitting in the back of that car and caught a fair charge. You home all of a sudden? But hey man, his shit ain't worse than Bezu's. His shit is not worse than Bezu's. Like dead ass. Bezu ass was going back to probably like 5 fair charges in a year and never went to jail.
on the dark web. In it, Vaughn raps, "They say blood thicker, but my blood try to drown me. Watch who you eat with. Some wolves move calmly." Fans are calling it a prophecy. Others say it was a final warning. Either way, the bars hit different now. Social media is in flames. The hashtag Justice for Vaughn is trending again. TikToks are breaking down every frame of surveillance footage. Reddit threads are decoding every lyric, every tweet, every handshake between Dirk and Vaughn in old videos. Fans are asking, was the love ever real? Or was Vaughn just a pawn in a bigger play? But while fans go crazy online, things in the industry are shifting quietly. Word is, a few major artists are pulling back from OTF. One Atlanta-based rapper who collaborated with both Dirk and Vaughn posted a cryptic IG story. Funny how the truth always come out. Rest up to the real ones. He deleted it minutes later.
And they probably talking about Young Thug, because Young Thug, he got something to do. He was on 1017 too with Asian Doll.
But screenshots are forever. Some say Dirk's been flying low, skipping public appearances, delaying releases. And sources close to him say he's in full lockdown. Mode lawyers, security, and silence. No tweets, no lives, just a wall of silence. Insiders claim he's preparing for possible charge, especially if these FBI files hold up in court. And that ain't even the wildest part. Because what we about to reveal next, it ain't just about Vaughn. The next twist in this saga brings, in other names, big names, people Dirk worked with, people who might have known. And the biggest question of all, how far does the rabbit hole go? This story,
Like, think. Mimo is beefing with them too, but Mimo ain't got no federal charges. Lil Zay Osama, he had a federal charge for that switch. They say he got 3 years for that, which unheard of, but hey, case of Razera. This nigga Bezu?
story's just heating up. The betrayal, the drama, the possible setup hits, all coming to a head. And part 3. That's where it goes nuclear. All right.
Part 3 of Backstabbers. Like he said, this is part 3 of the video Backstabbers. You already know.
Now we're diving even deeper into this mess. After the bombshell revelations about Tasha and the mysterious witness, the leaked FBI files reportedly bring some heavy hitters into the picture. Names that nobody expected to be tied directly to this whole saga started popping up, and fans, well, they lost it. According to the documents, the investigation didn't just stop at OTC affiliates and Vaughn's close circle. It spread out to some of the bigger players in the Chicago rap scene, people who had the power to influence, protect, or destroy careers overnight. And one of those names allegedly linked to the case, none other than a Chicago rapper known for his street anthems and connections to the very core of the city's drill scene. Now listen. No official charges have been filed against this person, but the files suggest he was at least in contact with some of the people allegedly involved in Vaughn's death. The feds were reportedly trying to figure out if he played a role in any orchestrated moves. This sent shockwaves through the fanbase because this artist was seen as a mentor figure to both Dirk and Vaughn, so unrespected, almost untouchable. But here's the thing, according to these files, tensions weren't just inside ATF or the Chicago scene. They spilled over into Atlanta streets too. The documents say there were secret meetings between Atlanta-based crews and Chicago affiliates right before Vaughn's murder. FBI agents believed these meetings were attempts to negotiate peace, but they might have actually been cover-ups for planning something much darker. And remember Quando Rondo, the guy who was blamed publicly? Well, insiders say he was kept in the dark by many in his own camp. According to the FBI, some people used him as a scapegoat, knowing his reputation would make the story easier to sell. In fact, leaked texts from Quando's team show frustration and confusion, with one member saying, "We ain't never got the memo. They set us up." This theory gained traction when a former Quando Rando crew member came forward anonymously and said, "We got played, bro. It was all smoke and mirrors." Vaughn was caught in the middle of a bigger plan, and Quando was just the fall guy. This person claimed they tried to warn Vaughn, but the communication lines were too tangled. Meanwhile, the family drama keeps getting messier. Vaughn's mother allegedly confronted Dirk's team during a private meeting that was supposed to be about settling differences and healing wounds. Sources say Dirk's camp, on the other hand, accused Vaughn's family of trying to capitalize on his death for publicity and money. Tensions between the two camps are so high that friends who once worked with both artists are now forced to pick sides or stay silent. The emotional fallout is like a storm that just won't pass. And while the families fight behind closed doors, fans are exploding on social media. Some have started campaigns calling out Dirk, demanding answers and transparency. Others are defending him fiercely, saying he's being unfairly targeted by haters and trolls trying to stir drama. The lines have been drawn so clearly, the internet feels like a battlefield in the middle of all this chaos. There's been one unexpected voice rising above the noise: Vaughn's little brother. He posted a heartfelt video on Instagram, tears in his eyes, saying, "I just want the truth. My brother deserved better. Whoever's behind this, we've gone find out." His emotional plea has sparked a new wave of support and hope that justice might still be served. And then there's the music industry's response. Some labels are quietly distancing themselves from OTF, worried the FBI investigation could drag down other artists. Collaborations once rumored to be in the works have been canceled or put on hold. A few high-profile producers who worked closely with Vaughn and Dirk have gone dark, deleting old posts and muting comments. The leaked files also mention that some artists were allegedly pressured by outside forces to stay silent or even lie to investigators.
And other long stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even being funny, but all this shit ties right back to Bezu. Who's the last man standing? Vaughn dead, Hellaband's dead, Dirk is in jail. Who is the last man standing? When we said that last time, who gonna be the last man standing? Looks to be Bezu.
Unnamed rapper reportedly told the FBI, "If I speak, it ain't just my career gone, it's my life." These threats add another layer of fear and mistrust to an already explosive situation. Amid all the drama, the real question remains: who orchestrated the murder? The files hint at a mastermind behind the scenes, someone with a grudge against Vaughn.
And I'm gonna say this again. Bezu was the one out there fighting at the Varsity. Bezu was the one who's chasing the dude shooting at him. Why was Vaughn even put in that? Why Vaughn only went to jail and Dirk went to jail and not Bezu? Vaughn was set up at, Dirk set Bezu up at his house, got him locked up allegedly. Vaughn sat up there and propped the man who killed his stepson, allegedly.
Vaughn or OTF, or maybe even both. The FBI supposedly has enough evidence to link this person to planning sessions and communications, but they're keeping it close to the vest for now. And then, just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, the FBI files reveal something chilling: a possible cover-up involving local law enforcement. Rumors have circulated for years about corrupt cops in Atlanta and Chicago protecting certain crews or turning a blind eye to illegal activity. Now, the documents say the investigation includes looking into officers who may have intentionally stalled or misled inquiries into Vaughn's murder, if true. This could explain why justice has been so slow and why so many questions remain unanswered. Fans are furious, calling for full transparency and accountability from every side. Amidst all this, Dirk has finally broken his silence not with words, but with music. A surprise drop from his latest project features a raw, emotional track, where he raps about pain, betrayal, and loss. Fans say it sounds like a confession and a cry for redemption. The line, "I lost my brother, but who really shot him?" is stuck in people's heads. The track is climbing the charts, but instead of celebration, it's sparking even more debate and speculation. Some fans see it as Dirk finally telling his side, others as a desperate move to control the narrative. 1. Things clear. This saga isn't over. Every day brings new leaks, new drama, and new questions. The line between truth and rumor blurs, leaving fans desperate to know what really happened. And the impact. It's felt far beyond the music world. Street crews, families, and communities are all caught in the fallout. Loyalty has been tested. Friendships shattered. And as the investigation drags on, the wounds
Loyalty
only
shattered
deepen.
too.
Part 4 is where the story explodes. With the final jaw-dropping twists, shocking reveals, and maybe some answers. Stay tuned. Now here's where things get absolutely wild-like. Movie level wild. After months of quiet and mounting tension, new evidence allegedly uncovered by the FBI has surfaced. And it's shaking the whole rap community to its core. The files reveal that the murder of King Von might not have been a simple case of street rivalry or even an inside-out conflict, may have been orchestrated by someone nobody saw coming. And with motives tied to power, money, and long buried. Grudges. The FBI documents claim that a well-known Chicago music executive, someone who had a hand in launching careers and controlling major label deals, was secretly involved in setting the whole thing in motion. This person, who historically had a rocky relationship with Von, allegedly felt threatened by Von's rapid rise and independence. The files suggest that this executive worked behind the scenes to manipulate people close to Von and accusing fear.
What executive could that be, y'all? What executive? I don't want to say who I think it is.
Loyalty and money to push a dangerous agenda. Sources close to the FBI say this executive allegedly used intermediaries inside, off to relay orders, and even helped coordinate logistics around the night of the shooting. This revelation has fans and insiders stunned. The executive's reputation as a music mogul now stands on shaky ground.
Now, remember I was telling y'all about P. Diddy and that night that Fendi Boy was out there at Stevie J's house? Okay.
With rumors swirling about possible indictments in the coming months, and here's the kicker. The FBI says that the executive may have had help from an unexpected ally, a former OT member who had fallen out with Dirk, but maintained influence in certain circles. This person allegedly provided key intel.
Now look, if it was Dirk telling information, how could he be friends with Dirk? How could he be friends with himself? I'm telling you, it's Bezoo ass.
And was responsible for some of the misinformation that confused investigators early on. But it ain't just about big names. The files also paint a picture of raw emotion, desperation, and complex human drama. One page reportedly details a voicemail left by Vaughn to a close friend days before he died, pleading for help and warning that he felt someone close was out to get him. In the message, Vaughn's voice cracks, saying, "I don't know who to trust no more." The leaks also include alleged transcripts from phone calls where Dirk and Vaughn argued intensely over business and loyalty. One excerpt reads, "You said we family, but family don't set family up." Emotions ran high. Fans say these conversations show the fragility beneath the tough exterior both men carried. The drama spilled into the public eye when a video leaked of a private dinner party shortly after Vaughn's death, where some OTF members were caught on camera whispering about making moves to protect the family and handling things differently next time.
Ain't gonna be no next
The
time.
footage sparked rumors of retaliation plans and a brewing feud that could lead to more violence. Amidst this chaos, Vaughn's family has taken a stand. They've hired a high-profile legal team to push for a full federal investigation into the murder and the alleged cover-ups. They're demanding transparency and justice, not just for Vaughn, but for the entire community that feels betrayed. Meanwhile, Dirk has been spotted at several private meetings with top legal advisors and community.
Man, niggas out here riding left and right. You don't know who to trust no more.
Leaders fueling speculation that he's preparing for legal battles and possibly trying to broker peace behind the scenes. Insiders say he's conflicted, wanting to protect his legacy while navigating accusations that threaten to destroy it. Fans are more divided than ever. Some believe Dirk is innocent and caught in a web of lies and manipulation. Others think he knew more than he admitted and maybe even played a role in the events leading up to Vaughn's death.
Sure did.
Online, hashtags like #DURK-innocent and #DURK-guilty trend back and forth, fueling heated debates and breaking friendships. Add to this the growing conspiracy theories about the FBI's true motives. Some fans argue the whole investigation is a set up to dismantle OTF and control the Chicago rap scene. They point to patterns of surveillance, informants, and leaked files as evidence of a larger government operation targeting young black artists. This theory has inspired a new wave of activism, demanding artist protections and transparency from law enforcement. Amid all this, the music keeps coming. Some former OTF affiliates have dropped tracks hinting at betrayal, loss, and truth. Others have stayed silent, fearing reprisals. But one thing's clear: the pain, anger, and grief are fueling a creative explosion that could redefine Chicago's rap narrative forever. And while the story unfolds, the streets remain tense. Rumors of retaliations, alliances, and new players entering the game spread fast. Community leaders are calling for calm, but with so many lives and reputations on the line, the future feels uncertain. In the end, this saga isn't just about a tragic death. It's about loyalty, power,
Betrayal.
survival, and the harsh realities of life behind the music. It's about how quickly brotherhood can turn into betrayal, and how the search for truth can expose even darker secrets. So here we are, standing on the edge of what could be the biggest reveal in hip-hop history. The FBI files may just be the tip of the iceberg. What happens next could change everything: careers, families, and the very fabric of Chicago's music scene. And as this story continues to unravel, one thing's for sure.
Dirk ran up there to academics and went right to jail. Little King Von ran right over to the academics and ended up dead. Who's going to be the next fool? Who's going to be the next dummy to play with academics? Stay off that, man. Stay off these hit federal agent platforms, man.
The world is watching. The fans are waiting, and no one's gonna stop until every secret is out. After everything we've uncovered, from shocking betrayals and secret informants, to mysterious masterminds pulling strings behind the scenes, the Lil Durk and King Von saga feels more like a thriller than real life. Fans are left shocked, emotions running wild as the layers of this story peel back to reveal a tangled web of loyalty, deceit, and danger. The family is divided, the streets are tense, and the music world is holding its breath. So many questions still hang in the air. Who really orchestrated King Von's death? How deep did the betrayal go?
Between Puff Daddy and Ghazi, we know Ghazi is a record exec too. What about Ghazi? We know Ghazi did that shit too.
Is justice actually coming? Or will this remain another tragic chapter in Chicago's troubled history? And what does this mean for Lil Durk's legacy, his career, and his future? Now, this story is far from over. The FBI files continue to leak. New details might surface, and the drama is bound to escalate. That's why your voice matters. What do you think about these allegations? Do you believe Lil Durk is innocent? Or do you think there's more to the story? How do you feel about the role of the music industry and law enforcement in all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all again. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you to all my subscribers. Much love to everybody. Make sure you smash the like button. It's your boy Costa Don. Salute. I'm out.